Check. How we doing? How we doing today? You know what it is. It's Andreas Warren, your host of Andreas Warren's Meta Talk. What we're going to talk about. Welcome to 2023. It is what it is. This is one of the most epic years of all time. This year signifies a year of transition, transcendence, and ascending. Now, if any of you know anything about ascending, is whatever must go up, something has to go down. The laws of reciprocity, or the laws of taking something's place. Just to put it simply for y'all, if you are the top boss of an organization or corporation, you don't just all of a sudden become top boss without whoever is in that current position getting moved out of the way, fired, demoted, or steps aside. However it is, you take their position and replace them. Okay? Now, that happens in the universe. This is why they call it the laws of reciprocity, or just to put it simply, the laws of replacement. Okay? And I want to say it's in one of the ancient texts, the book of Ecclesiastes. King Solomon wrote, "There is nothing new under the sun. What was from the beginning is now, and what was now was from the beginning." In so many words, what the wise King Solomon was trying to break down or convey was how simply whatever you're experiencing today, whatever you went through, whatever such and such is going through, is nothing new. It's all already been accomplished, done, thought of, and reciprocated, manifested. So all you have to do is find out, where do you fit in this grand universe, this matrix as some people call it. But what I call it is simply your life. Just call it simple what it is. Where do you fit in your life? All right? Keep that in mind. Now, we're going to get into a couple of things that you might need to know so you can get on the fast track for abundance and manifesting the law of attraction to work out for you. Yeah, there's a fast track because you can harness the power of the universe and you can actually attract the law of attraction to manifest more. You got a favorite hip hop artist? I was just listening to Lil Boosie. Yeah, he's one of my favorite out in Louisiana. Independent. Do you know what that means? Yeah, some of y'all who know what I'm talking about, shout out to Lil Boosie out there doing his thing. Yeah, so anyway, 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, you can Jay-Z, the list, Drake, Lil Wayne, the list goes on and on and on. Legends, currents, whoever it is, whatever. The question is this though. Are you ready to attract abundance and manifest the life of your dreams? That is the question. Now, before you answer that, you need to really look at yourself in the mirror and ask that question to yourself. Am I ready to attract the life of my dreams? Am I ready to manifest the law of abundance? Now, of course, anyone would say you start thinking of cars, jewelry, clothes, all the friends you'll have, all the flight things that come with it. But there was this one study done about 25 years ago when I first got started in business. I was at a business seminar, and this Harvard or Stanford professor stood up, and he had all these statistics about millionaires and the highly successful, such as Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, just to name a few. And he started reading out these statistics. He says, first of all, everybody in the room, stand up if you want to be a millionaire. Naturally, I do, just like you would. Without even looking to the left, to the right, I stand up. Yeah, let me adjust it so you can still see me. Right? Oh, shoot. Yeah. I stand up. So here I am. Everybody in the room standing. Then he goes, let me sit back down so I can talk to y'all. Then he goes, excuse the camera. Then he goes, all right, now, what I'm going to do is read to you some things that it's going to cost you. Read to you some things that you're going to have to sacrifice in order to become a millionaire. And you sit down when I say that becoming a millionaire is not worth it to you to sacrifice whatever it is that I read off the list. And so so he starts going down the list. First thing he says is, number one, having a close relationship with all of your family members that you're close with now today. If you have to sacrifice having a close relationship with all of your blood family relatives over being a millionaire, sit down. Naturally, couple people start to sit down, but the room is still filled with most people standing. Number two, you can have children, but you're going to have a strange relationship with them. You're going to have an estranged relationship with your children. And before you don't sit down, that is because almost 80% of millionaires experience a divorce. So if you are in love with someone right now, your spouse, you will more than likely have to divorce that person to become a millionaire. If that is something that you're not desiring to do, sit down. Naturally, about half of the crowd sits down. He goes, number three, you will be sued more than Walmart does. He was making a joke about it. He says, but you will be sued as if you're Walmart for things that you did not even do wrong. And more than likely, you will lose more than you win. If you are not desiring to get sued for things that you did not do, for crimes that you did not commit, and still would have to fork out millions of dollars, whether it be controversial from Michael Jackson, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby, to even other cases that are not as controversial, you name whoever they are, insert their name, etc. You will still have to fork out millions of your hard-earned cash for things that you did not do. He started to name many multimillionaires you never heard of who have squeaky clean resumes, paid hundreds of millions of dollars for lawsuits that never happened, just to simply keep their name clean. If you're not willing to invest your hard-earned fortune to keep your reputation clean, sit down. Naturally, whatever was remaining, let's say 25% of the people who were standing are still remaining in the room standing. Let's say about a 500 people, that leaves us with a cold 100. Half of them sat down. Now we up to 50 people. He goes, now your average multimillionaire attempts suicide at least twice in their life, and half of them are successful in killing themselves. The other half do come to a realization that their life is worth living because of their near-death experience, and propels them to continuing the journey. If you do not want to kill yourself or ever picture yourself committing suicide, sit down. Of the 50 people, to my astonishment, all of them stood standing. Now, that doesn't mean that they were willing to kill themselves, but it seemed like, I think it was one of those things where most people psychologically, mentally, they say to themselves, well, I'm not going to be like such and such. I'm going to be mentally tougher. I'm not going to want to kill myself no matter what I go through. But that's not the facts, is it? See, now, of course, statistics only speak for a certain who actually fits in that particular segment. But the point is we talking about millionaires and multimillionaires. Where do you stand? What makes you different? If you're going to bust through this gate, this is what it takes. So he continues to go. He says, not only will you go through a divorce, most millionaires went through 2 divorces instead of 1. Now this really took the whole crowd by storm. On top of you're going to not only want to commit suicide, but actually have attempted suicide. Now, many of you who have had suicidal thoughts, we didn't actually follow through with it. I remember one time, long time ago, I remember looking at the world. I was a child. I remember thinking, maybe it'd be better if I didn't live anymore. But I didn't have the wherewithal to actually do it. It's a whole nother monster to where you're on suicide watch. To where if you're left with enough pills from Tylenol or Excedrin or whatever you got at your disposal, that you're just thinking about actually grabbing that and a bottle of whatever your alcohol of choice and just downing it in one go. And then maybe going into a car and then just going full speed ahead into the stop sign or into a tree. Now I'm telling you, I remember as a child going through adolescence, 15, 16 years old, thought the end of the world just because maybe you went through a breakup. I can't even remember what it was that made me think, not thoughts of suicide, but I do remember thinking, what would happen in the world if maybe I just gave up right now? And I don't say that lightly. And so there's some of you right now here today. Let me just stop for a moment. Let me encourage you. Let me remind you, this universe needs you. The world needs you. You got angels standing right by you right now. I'm over here. I'm in your corner. I feel you. This message is just for you. I love you. Don't you ever give up on life. Don't you ever give up hope. You matter. When you go in that mirror, you look at yourself and you remind yourself, not just how much more you have to look forward to, you remind yourself of why and the difference you made. You are great. You ain't just good, you're great. I love you. Many love you. You made a difference. You are a star. You brighten the lives of many every single day. Don't you ever lose track of that, sight of that, and forget that. Don't you dare lose sight of that, track of that, or forget that. If so, call me. My name is Andreas Warren, 407-963-6938. Phone number, shoot me a text, whatever it is, call me. 407-963-6938. Don't you dare end it. Dare end it. Give me a chance to talk to you. I love you. You matter. This is just for you. So the millionaire statistician goes down the list. He says, not only are you going to have to mess up your credit over 2 times, commit bankruptcy over 2 times, go through over 2 divorces, be estranged from your children who you love deeply, be estranged from your family who helped you get to where you are. You can't even have a close business relationship or partner relationship because those to you closest in business more than likely going to be the same one stabbing you in the back. So you're not going to have any close friends or family like how you have now before you became a millionaire. Are you ready to embark on this journey to become a millionaire? Even I sat down at that point. When I looked at it and he gave us the statistics, the statistics, it made no sense. It made 0 sense. Now, that is not to say that every single millionaire experiences every single thing on the list that what that man shared with us. But what that was to say is you will come to a fork in the road and you'll have to choose. And how you choose and what you choose is completely and utterly 100% up to you. But there will be a time where you will have to choose what is more important to you. And I pray dearly that whatever you choose, you stick to it. Because here is the thing. Those who do become the millionaires or the multimillionaires, they found it worth it. They found it worth sacrificing all of what they lost as part of cost of business to get what they gained. I'm not here to play judgment police, say you're good or you're not good. I'm better than you. I would have done this. I would have done that. I had a lot of success. And I'm not going to get into you as far as my financial status, but I'll let you know. I busted through. Yeah, I busted through. And had I had it to do all again, I'm still standing, I'm breathing, I'm here sharing this story with you. Obviously, I wouldn't have done it any differently. But I'm here to encourage you. Put your plan on paper. Think it through. And no matter what, life is a gift. So you keep on living. You keep on trying. And you find a reason, whatever that reason is for you, whether it be to make millions, to give back to your community, or to write a compelling book or song, poetry that inspires somebody, get them out of the trenches or get them through a rough spot, whatever it is, I inspire you, encourage you. Keep going. Don't you ever give up. There's so much more life worth to live, and it's right in front of you. I love you. Namaste. All right.